Hi guys, Chris Jansen here from the team at Brock Harcourt Synergy. Today's hot topic, I want to talk to you about something that I've recently explored myself, and that is self-managed superannuation funds. The reason I wanted to share this with you is because I've tried and tested it myself, and I've had an interesting journey, and I've found out some great wonderful options and things that you can do, and I thought it'd be useful to share with you guys. So look, what is self-managed superannuation? Well, obviously majority of the population, they get paid superannuation. Generally that superannuation goes to a nominated fund that they handle the investments on behalf of us, and obviously they take their piece of the pie and charge whatever fees they charge. We're obviously an ageing population, and obviously the financial market or sector is doing some erratic things, and it's been very turbulent times over the past 12 to 24 months. We've heard of some very sad cases of people that were due to retire, now unable to retire because their super has just disappeared, and they're continuing to work on past the retirement age. There's also cases of people that were retired, had superannuation, that's now gone because of poor investment choice on behalf of themselves or their fund, and they're having to go back out into the working force. And it's heart-wrenching to hear these stories, but more importantly, I think today's topic I want to talk to you, because it's important that what we choose and do today and how we plan for our future will absolutely determine the type of retirement and lifestyle of retirement that we'll have into the future. I think age is irrelevant. If you're 18, 25, 30, 40, 50, it doesn't matter what age you are, you need to start thinking about this today and how you want your retirement to look. So, self-managed superannuation, well, look, there's a number of ways you can go in setting it up. Like always, make sure you get the right advice, whether it's speaking through your accountant directly. There are people that actually specialise in self-managed superannuation funds. Whatever it may be, just make sure you speak to the right people in the right places firstly. I chose to go to a specialist in self-managed superannuation. There's obviously options to establish and set it up online, but I just engaged a professional to get the job done for me. It was very simple. I pretty much signed up paperwork to establish the trust fund to roll the monies into, and it was at a cost of $600. So like anything guys, there are costs associated with this. There's startup costs. Like I said, mine was $600. There's annual costs to manage the fund and audit the fund. But by my calculations, when I weighed up all the costs versus auditing, startup costs against what it was to have it in a managed fund through a superannuation company, I came out leaps and bounds ahead in terms of managing the fund myself. One of the great things with a self-managed super fund is you can have up to 4 entities in that fund. By that I mean you can have yourself, your partner, your wife, your kids, your friends, your dog, whoever it may be, but up to 4 people in that entity can roll their money into one fund and then start investing from there. What does it mean? I guess, well, it absolutely gives you the option to do what you want with your money. I mean, obviously you can't take it out for spending purposes, unfortunately, but it gives you control in what you want to invest in without the super guys taking out their piece of the cake or pie and charging you those fees. Now, like anything, always have an investment strategy, okay? So whether you're going to be investing in housing and property, or whether you're going to be investing in shares, make sure you go in with a clear-cut plan of your investment strategy. Once the funds are obviously then rolled into an account, now what I've done myself is I've rolled it into a term deposit account that I can access at any one time. Obviously, like anything, you have the option with any bank that you want to roll the funds into, whether you want to lock the funds into a term deposit so you guarantee a certain, I guess, interest rate over a 3, 6, 12-month period, whatever it may be. In my case, I've locked it into a specialised self-managed superannuation managed fund or account with a particular lender, and I have it at an on-call basis. So whenever I need the funds to invest, I can absolutely access those funds and invest straight away. However, I'm still achieving an interest rate whilst the money is sitting in there. It's obviously marginally lower than what you would get in a term deposit, but it's ad hoc. I can get to it at any time. Some great facts. Myself, I'm going to be investing in property. Obviously, I know the market. I specialise in that area. Why would I not? So I'm using the money to now go and look for investment properties. This is a great thing, guys. A lot of people, obviously, as lending criteria is tightened up, a lot of people can't afford the deposit to get approval from the banks. Okay, now whether you're investing, whether you're looking to buy a home into the future so you can retire into that home, whatever it may be, this is a sensational option. A client I was talking to just the other day can't afford to buy a home because they don't have a deposit. Now they're going to rent for the rest of their lives until it comes time to retirement. Then from there, what happens? Where do they live? What roof do they have over their head? This is where you can explore the option of using your super to buy a home. Now the thing is, when you buy through your self-managed superannuation fund, until that asset is obviously paid off, it can only be an investment. So unfortunately you can't live in it. However, this is the smart thinking. What if you could buy a property, use your self-managed superannuation funds as a deposit for that property, get a tenant in there, rent it out for 10, 15, 20 years, however long it may take, until that asset is paid off. But how good would it be that that tenant and the tenant's rent has paid off the asset, then you have a property you can then go and move into. Just think about that. Real smart option and way to think, okay? Second to that, this is the other great bonus. Obviously when you go and buy an investment property, let's say for example the rent on a monthly basis adds to $1,400. The mortgage repayments are $1,800. So there's a $400 shortfall. So generally the everyday investor would have to dip into their pocket $400 to cover the difference between what the rent's achieving to what the actual mortgage repayment is. Now we all know if you dip into your pocket $400, that's after tax dollars. So it's actually taking you $800 to make $800 before tax to then take home $400 in your pocket after tax. The great thing about self-managed superannuation fund, if there's any shortfall from what the rent is to the mortgage repayment, it can actually be paid for by your superannuation. Now as you know, super is all before tax, okay? So we're eliminating, I guess, the tax, a lot of tax benefits here is what I'm saying in a nutshell. So heaps and heaps more options available to you. If you want to subdivide, if you want to renovate that investment property, whatever it may be, it's paid for by the super fund. It's not coming out of your own pocket. You're not paying the difference. After tax has come off your pay and it's leaving you short yourself to live every day. So a great thing to think about, guys. And obviously, you know, if you want to invest it in the share market, you've got that option there too. Myself, safe as houses is my saying, that's where I'm going to be investing my money. But particularly for a lot of those people that feel that, you know, I'm never going to own a home, when it comes to retirement I won't have an asset for myself that's paid off to live under or then to pass on to my kids, this is a great way to start thinking. Yes, you can't live in it, you know, no, you can't live in it today, but think 10, 15 years time when that asset's paid itself off, it's been an investment, you own an asset outright, what a great position to be in. Now just shop around. If you do this option of self-managed super fund, like I said, get the right advice firstly, that is critical. But what you will find is shop around. When you set up the fund, shop around in terms of lenders, what they'll lend against the self-managed superannuation fund. We found most lenders will lend generally up to about 80% of whatever the purchase price is of the property. That was at best. But like always, shop around, guys, get the right advice. Thanks for tuning in, and if you have any questions, like always, drop us a line, 0423 283 265. Until next time, we'll see you in and around the property traps. Cheers.